Hey guys, what is up? So I know it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, but I have had to go through a couple different, not really a couple, just one different procedure. I had to have a colonoscopy last Friday. I had to do the prep on Thursday. And I thought I would talk to you guys, like being a diabetic and having a colonoscopy is not the most ideal situation, which a colonoscopy isn't ideal anyways. But in case for some reason you don't know what a colonoscopy is, it's basically where they go use a little camera to go in your butt basically and to see how your colon is, see if you have any polyps or any cancerous stuff. Anyway, so my mom had colon cancer at age 32 and I was supposed to have a colonoscopy at 22, but I kept pushing it off and I did not want to do it like at all. So finally I was talking to the doctor and I was like, hey, I should probably do a colonoscopy just to make sure everything is okay. So fast forward till last Thursday, I had pushed it off. I had it scheduled in December and I went ahead and just was like, no, too close to Christmas. Let's move it to January. So I was trying to think of every excuse in the book not to do it in January, but I was like, okay, let's just get it over with and then I won't have to do it for a while. So if a family member has had colon cancer, especially like your mom or dad or something like that, you're supposed to get a colon test every 5 years. Now my mom has been she's been cancer free for 20 maybe-ish years, so or close to 20. So she has been cancer free for a while now, which is awesome. Very happy to hear that. And she just had her checkup with her regular doctor. Sorry guys. Anyway, so during her checkup they did some genetic screening, and during that genetic screening they found out that she does not carry the cancer gene, which is completely awesome. So she is doing really well, and knowing that she doesn't carry the cancer gene means we won't have to have the test again until we're 40, 50-ish, which is awesome, unless they found something, in my colon or in my sister's colon. Anyway, so last Thursday, you basically have to prep your way before the test, which means you have to clean yourself out. So I got Miralax, Dulcolax. I think that was it. It feels like there was more. But I took 4 Dulcolax tablets at 10 a.m. Thursday morning, and I was feeling okay. The thing is, you cannot eat when you have a colon test. So I had stopped eating at 8 o'clock Wednesday night because I was trying to eat some because I knew I was going to be hungry. I knew I was going to have sugar problems. And my diabetic doctor was aware of me getting a colon test, so if there was a problem, I would drink some Coke to bring my sugar up, or I'd drink some more Gatorade, something that would bring my sugar up, but no food. So I woke up on Thursday morning, and I believe my sugar was like 118, which isn't bad. I could have had coffee, but I couldn't put creamer in it because it is milk, and I don't like coffee without creamer. So I was like, okay, let's just drink a little bit of Dr. Pepper, which was fine because you could have a Coke. So I drank some Dr. Pepper. I was feeling, pretty okay. Also on Thursday, we were having our new floors done, which they look so good. And I was also watching our 2 dogs. So my mother-in-law actually had to take a half a day off, which was awesome because I definitely needed her help. So around 11 o'clock, after I've taken the 4 Dulcolax tablets, I got Gatorade. And being a type 1 diabetic, or even any diabetic, actually you can have any color in Gatorade. Gatorade is what they said, but I still think you can't have it red because they think it's blood. So I did purple Gatorade, and with diabetic, you have to have the G2 Gatorade. So G2 Gatorade is basically low sugar Gatorade. I think it cuts the carbs in half because I double checked it. So like a regular Gatorade is like 25 to 30 carbs. And then the Gatorade I had was like 13 carbs for a big cup thing, for a bottle. So I had drank that and it tasted pretty good. So I was doing really good till about noon. I'd already drank 2 waters. My sugar did shoot up to like 160 because all I was doing, I was like trapped in my room because they were working on our floors. So I was just basically sitting down, watching TV, watching the dogs, taking them out occasionally, and drinking Gatorade and Dr. Pepper that will shoot your sugar up. So I drank some water, and it came down to about 92. So I was like, okay, I still hadn't eaten anything, guys, and it was like 12 o'clock. And so you get like that hungry sick, like your stomach feels like it's eating your stomach is what it feels like. So I was like, okay, let's try to go for some Jell-O. And I tried to, eat Jell-O, and it was blue Jell-O because you're not supposed to have red again, and I don't like yellow or orange. And it tasted good, but I was just like, this is not satisfying. So I was like, well, why don't I go ahead and start the Miralax. So Miralax comes in a bottle about this big-ish, and you have to drink the entire bottle, and it's hard. So at first, I got pretty sick. I just put it in water. Please, if you take a colon test, do not put Miralax in water. Sorry. They say you cannot taste it. I don't know. Maybe it's just the look of it or the smell of it. I don't know. It just like made me sick. So I was like, okay, I can chug this really quickly. And I did that. And my mother-in-law said I looked white as a ghost. It was that bad. And I felt like I was just going to throw up like everywhere. Luckily, I kept it down. At least I didn't throw it up. Let's say that. And then I got some chicken broth. Now, let me tell you, chicken broth tastes like a freaking steak when you haven't had anything. So I had a little cup of chicken broth, and I was feeling a little bit better. My sugar was about 115, so I knew I'd be fine. So I got up, tried to move around a little bit, which you can't move very far, let me tell you, because you got so many laxatives in you. And I did more than what my mom had told me. She was like, just use a couple teaspoons every, 20, 30 minutes or an hour if you get sick. And I was like, you know what, just screw that idea. I want to get this over with as soon as possible. So I probably did about almost a half of a bottle in just one glass of water. That might have been what made me sick. And then I took a break for about an hour because my stomach was just a lot. Like, it was a lot going on. So I was like, let's take a break. And then when I came back, I took some more, which I was a little bit lower than a half, and I put it in Gatorade. And putting it in Gatorade is much better because you have flavor. Like I said, I had the grape flavor, so it wasn't bad at all. You just like stir it up, and I couldn't smell it like I could smell it in water. So I chugged that one, and I was like, okay, give myself another break. So I gave myself like a 30-minute break. I ate some more chicken broth, and I actually put the Miralax in chicken broth. That was the best idea ever. Because like you're getting the good flavor of the chicken broth, and you're getting the Miralax too. I mean, yeah, you're just ultimately getting the end goal, cleaning yourself out, but I mean, it's just a lot easier to take. Now my sugar did go up a little bit because like I said, I wasn't exercising. I was just sitting there. I wasn't really moving besides to the bathroom. So my sugar went up to about 150. So I got up, tried to walk around again. And then I just lay back down because by that time you've had over half the bottle of Miralax. The Dulcolax is starting to kick in, and like you just feel awful. So I finally got to come out of the room a little bit. I had one or two more things of Miralax to take. I think it was one. And I was just like not feeling well, but I was, doing okay. I still kind of felt hungry, but at the same time I was like, I can handle this. This isn't the worst thing in the world. So I think the last time I put it in Gatorade, and we came to sit on the couch, and I was just like going to the bathroom every like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like it just kept going, and I just was not feeling good. My husband and my mother-in-law actually got takeout that night. I was just like, they were like, I'm so sorry I have to eat in front of you. I was like, no, you're really okay. I kept saying that I was craving Captain D's out of all the things, which is terrible for a diabetic, terrible in general. But I didn't do any insulin, like correcting insulin, the Humalog. I don't think at all that day, just because I didn't want to drop down because that would have just messed you up. I did do the Tresiba. I asked my doctor, I was like, do I still need to take the Tresiba long-lasting insulin that morning because I'm not eating anything, I'm just keeping my carbs up? And he was like, yes. As a type 1 diabetic, you're not producing any insulin. If you are, it's very little. So go ahead and take that. Just keep an eye on your sugar. Take it, every couple hours and see how you're doing, which I did, and I did fine. I slept most of the night and went to bed pretty early because, your body's just gone through a lot of stuff. So I'd say I probably went to bed around 9 o'clock. I had been cleaned out, and I had stopped going probably around 7 o'clock that night. I wanted to go ahead and get it over with. So I was good. I took a bath, went to bed, and I slept till about 2 o'clock. I started going again, and then finally went back to sleep and woke up about 6:30 because we had to be there by 8:15, and it's all the way in Nashville. We knew Nashville traffic would be bad. So I got up and my husband was like, how are you feeling? And I was just like, oh, like this is rough. Like I was hungry and I was just like, it was just, your body was exhausted. We got there and honestly, it was the quickest check-in I have ever experienced. We got there, they checked me in, they put my armband on, and they're like, all right, are you ready? And I'm like, yes, I'm ready to get this over with. So they took me back there very quickly. You know, they was like, hey, you know, get undressed. Sorry, the dogs are right here. From the, you have to take everything off except your socks, put on a gown. And they did that, and it was extremely cold. Like, I have to say, with not eating anything, I was extremely, extremely cold. Probably from Wednesday night to Friday night, because I was just so cold, my body didn't know how to adjust to anything. So then we went to the procedure room. My husband wasn't allowed to go back there with me. They were like, okay, we need to, because I told him, I was like, y'all need to know that I am a type 1 diabetic. Hang on, Logan. I am a type 1 diabetic, so this, you know, y'all have to keep an eye on my sugar. So they did that. They put the IV in me, like right here in my hand, and I still have a little bit of a bruise. And he was like, I'm going to take some blood, I guess, from the IV. And they went to take my sugar. And unfortunately, my sugar was 68. So that was not the best scenario ever. But they said, well, let's see how you do after the procedure. Because in case you aren't aware of a colonoscopy, the procedure only takes 10 to 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, that's fine. They're like, are you feeling good? I was like, I feel a little woozy, but, you know, that could just be because I feel my body's been through a lot. And they said, okay. So they wheeled me back there, and then the anesthesiologist was so awesome. Like, his name was Stan, and he was like, okay, are you ready? I was like, yes, I'm ready to get a good night's sleep. And he said, this will work very fast. And I was like, I can fight it a little bit. And next thing I know, I was just like closing my eyes, and I was out. I don't remember literally anything else. I remember that it was cold, and then next thing I know, my husband was in the room saying, are you okay, baby? And I was like, I don't want to wake up. All I had said was, because we've been watching House again. That's one of our favorite shows. And I told my husband, I said, I have to finish the House case. And it made me sad because I wanted to see what was wrong with the person. But, I mean, it is what it is. But I was doing fine. They didn't give me any extra sugar. They said my sugar stayed at 68. So my husband had a Coke. So he just gave me a little bit of Coke and I was fine. Stop it. And I was fine with that. So I got home. No, on the way home, we stopped at McDonald's, which is terrible. And I got me a chicken biscuit, but I don't eat the biscuit. I only eat the chicken patty. So I ate the chicken patty and like I fought sleep. Like I could not just lay down and go to sleep afterwards. It was like I had to know what was going on. So I finally was like, went to my room, closed my eyes, closed all the blinds, and I fell asleep. And I slept hard. And then next few hours, I was fine. My body was fine. My stomach still felt a little blech, but I was good. So I did all this to tell you guys that, to tell you that it's okay to have a colonoscopy for like, especially type 1 or type 2 diabetic. I mean, you can do it. It is rough because you have to check your sugar and take a lot of things into account. But you can do it. I survived, you can survive, and it's not that bad, I promise. I was expecting far worse than what actually happened. So no worries, I'm good. The results came back 100% great. They said my colon looks great. There was no issues, no polyps, anything like that. So I'm good. If you have any questions about a colonoscopy, I am here to help you, especially as a type 1 diabetic. I understand. I just went through it a week ago, so I've been there, I've done that. And I'd be happy to answer. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, if you like videos that I, have procedures or keep you guys, tracked on what I'm doing, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.